So cold. That was the phenomenal Jonathan Ferrara, and in this video you're gonna see, you know, them pedals that he was just pressing? They're called Taurus bass pedals. I've always wanted to know what they were, how they work. You're gonna learn that, and you're also going to get a real awesome introduction into how to start double hand tapping. It's
pedals going on here, and kind of two sets, isn't there? The first one, let's talk about these Taurus bass pedals. And like, what are Taurus bass pedals for somebody that has no idea what Taurus bass pedals are?
Well,
like, yeah.
I generally describe it as like a, it's like playing an octave of bass with your feet. With your feet. Right? So it's MIDI, and so you can get it's a Moog pedal.
Yeah.
And you know, an actual Moog Taurus this is built into it, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I had this made for me from an old lighting designer from my band.
Really?
Source. He's just one of those MacGyver dudes who just knows how to
can just sort of like make it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've been wanting one of these forever because I use it on
I love
what I
MacGyver,
consider the
by
Source's
way.
albums, and and so I'd always talked about it. I go, wow, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
So he took the pedals off of an actual Yamaha organ. It didn't tell me he was doing this.
Yeah.
And he took it off, and he built a casing, and he took the electronics out of a Casio keyboard, and just pieced it all together and surprised me with it one day. And I just...
And what is it? Is it like a piano? Is it like C? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, you know, right now
it sounds amazing, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And if you guys missed it, John was doing the tapping thing while playing this with his foot. Can you just show, like, just, yeah.
Sure.
Give us a blast.
It's
How
fun.
long yeah. How long did it take you to get that down?
A while.
Yeah,
a while. You know, I have a lot of respect for drummers.
What are you concentrating on as well when you're doing it? Is this happening automatically and you're concentrating on your feet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, like for that particular bass line, or whatever it's called, whatever it is, that's set. You know, it's a 7 pattern. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I ran it a lot, and just it's second nature.
Yeah.
So I could actually improvise more with my feet, because this is just kind of keeping
That's
a
just,
straight
it's a set
7 pulse for
structure.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where I can have a little bit more fun.
And do you ever kind of mess around with the settings on the actual, I don't know what you'd actually call it.
The Minotaur.
Yeah, the Minotaur, yeah.
I do it more in the studio. Seth and I are in the middle of an album right now.
Yeah.
And there's one part where there's like a bunch of loops going on, and I'll hit this guy and,
Yeah.
you know, just kind of tweak that a little bit.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
But when we play live, maybe a little bit in between songs, I'll switch it. But
And what's the volume? Is that just a normal volume pedal, or?
yeah, it's just for this.
Oh, so it's the volume pedal for that, so you can swell it in.
Yeah, and these are cool because you can have different expression pedals that are for the filter.
To
or
do
for,
different things, yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
instead of turning that knob that you did before, you could set an expression pedal to manage that.
Exactly.
it the right hand that was is that the kind of the hardest piece of the puzzle to get into? If people have just watched what you've done and you've blown their minds and they want to, they're thinking, yeah, I'm going to give this a shot. Is it the right hand that's the hardest bit to get going to start with? Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, like on the right hand, I don't use my pinky almost ever. These two are strong from fingerstyle playing.
Yeah, so your index and your middle are used, yeah.
Yeah, as you said, like the left hand is, it's used to fretting and everything.
Yeah.
So the right hand, you need some love.
And are you using your ring finger as well?
Yeah, use the ring finger a lot, yeah.
And like, what kind of exercises did you start off with when you first got into this? Like, if you're anything like me, you probably devised exercises, to kind of get you where you wanted to go. Like, what kind of stuff did you start with? And what kind of stuff should people start with when they're doing this?
Well, one thing that I did is just taking the pieces that we just did, use a lot of this, just sevenths. So if you take like, right?
Okay.
Just things like that.
Yeah,
you can find, any permutation of those 4 notes, just messing around with the different.
So it's just like a major 7 chord, yeah.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Play that again a bit slow.
Yeah. And then you can kind of move them through the modes.
Yeah. So that's a minor 7 flat 5,
right,
which is a 7. It's the minor. Yeah.
Right, and just kind of keep on going that way.
Okay. And you're doing it like
strings.
multiple permutations.
Yeah.
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 So you can play like root, third, 5, 7, root, 5. Yeah. And
3,
sort of like
7,
mix
yep.
them all up.
Exactly.
And did you practice different patterns based on, like, to start with, did you say, for instance, go like root 5, third, 7? And then practice that until it kind of like got absorbed in your muscle memory.
Sure.
And then you move to root third, 5, 7 and stuff like that until you like got absorbed into your movement of your hands. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of, like you could write out all the permutations and just look at them and say, okay, here's one. Here's another one. This one's really hard for some reason. This one actually flows off the fingers kind of easily, so let me hang out with that one for a while and see what happens. Part of it's being a little opportunistic too. There are certain positions in certain orders of those notes that flow better than others. Or at least, and that might be a subjective thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I find. Like if you find one that really works and resonates with you, explore it. Put it into, like for me, I'm into a lot of proggy and jazz fusion stuff too. So I like to do a lot of odd time stuff. So I'll see which ones lend itself to 7 easier or lend itself to 5 easier and stuff like that.
Which sort of like tapping permutations could be in a 7 or a 5. Yeah.
And another really kind of a boring exercise, but a really good finger strengthening one is just to take like the different pairings of your fingers on each hand. Let's say you have like an index finger and a middle finger. Right, and then the same thing over here.
Yeah. Got ya. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and then take the next couple.
Oh, so on your right hand you're using the second and third. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just for strengthening.
Now, thanks for checking that out, guys. If you want to catch the full video of that, we've got 3 exclusive performances from John Ferrara and a full 30 or 40 minute interview. If you want to check that out, just go to scottsbasslessons.com. You'll find it there, and a ton of other courses and interviews and bassy shenanigans. Now, take it easy. I'll see you in the shed.